It's been over 2 years since we first started talking about the newly emerging class of adventure scooters. Today, we can confidently state that it was not just a phase, and trail-ready scooters are here to stay. So in this video, we'd like to briefly review the newest models that manufacturers from all over the world decided to bring for the 2025 model year and beyond. Let's get started. Zontes 368G. In a market dominated by low-displacement adventure scooters, Zontes is trying to reach the more demanding, performance-oriented crowd with their upcoming 368G model. Equipped with a 368cc single-cylinder engine with an output estimated at 38.7 horsepower, the scooter has 2 riding modes and can reach 80 mph speeds. To efficiently handle the power output, Zontes installed 4-piston brakes and a dual-channel ABS with a leaning-sensitive function. The model has an estimated weight of 436 pounds, a height-adjustable windshield, and a set of mismatched wheels with tubeless tires, 17 inches in the front and 14 inches in the rear to be exact. Just like many other Asian manufacturers, Zontes is placing great emphasis on the latest generation tech. Here you get a large TFT instrument panel, a radar, and front and rear-facing cameras that serve as a blind spot monitoring system. Honda X-ADV 750. After long years of waiting, Honda has finally announced a series of significant updates to their largest adventure scooter model. The 2025 X-ADV is based on a diamond-style tubular frame with an aluminum swing arm, features new bodywork created with the use of recycled materials, a new frontal part with redesigned LED headlights, a combination of mismatched 17 and 15-inch wheels, and a reshaped seat with a more rigid foam inside, and a 22-liter storage compartment underneath it. The power still comes from a parallel twin motor with a 745cc displacement, a 57 horsepower output at 6750 RPM, a 51 pound-feet torque parameter at 4750 RPM, and a 104 mph top speed capability. The list of technological advancements and improvements compared to the previous generation model includes standard cruise control, an automatic DCT transmission that enables 4 riding modes, a redesigned windscreen with 5 adjustment settings, a keyless go system, a 5-inch TFT dashboard with a phone connectivity feature, and center stand has a tilt sensor. Sym ADX 300. If you're looking for more performance, then you'd be glad to learn about the 300cc version of the Sym ADX adventure scooter that's coming next year. It should be pointed out right away that the newcomer not only gets a bigger engine, but has completely different underpinnings that were borrowed from the Joyride 300 maxi-scooter. Moreover, it has a refreshed exterior design with mismatched 15-inch front and 14-inch rear wheels, full LED lights, a tall windscreen, and smoother edges compared to its smaller counterpart. The improved performance comes courtesy of a liquid-cooled 4-stroke single-cylinder engine with a 278.3cc displacement. This mill yields 25.47 horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 19 pound-feet of engine torque at 6,000 RPM. To confidently deal with trying off-road scenarios, the scooter has a telescopic front fork, a dual-shock rear suspension, and powerful disc brakes. Do you think that the industry needs to produce more powerful adventure scooters, or will these low-displacement models do just right? Share your thoughts below while we keep rolling. Kymco CV-R5. At its 60th anniversary celebration, the Taiwan-based Kymco showed off a series of upcoming and conceptual models that the company's working on, including the CV-R5. It's a model that wants to occupy the middle ground between a maxi-scooter and an adventure motorcycle. With a capable 427cc engine, lightweight chassis, off-road tuned suspension, and semi-knobby tires, the two-wheeler is ready to head off into the wilderness. Although the information about the type of engine and the horsepower yield have not been officially announced, the manufacturer claims that it will have a chain drive, use a CVT gearbox, and produce 29 pound-feet of torque. Just like other adventure-oriented scooters, the CV-R5 features muscular bodywork under which it hides a 6-link rear suspension and a PTM independent swing arm. It'll likely be fun to learn full details about this model during its official unveiling at this year's EICMA exhibition, as well as find out whether the CV-R5 will go into mass production. MIT 125 ADV. The 125 ADV by the Spanish MIT Motors is a low-displacement scooter that belongs to the adventure class. In order to support the scooter's dual-purpose nature, it was equipped with a class-specific frame, mismatched wheels with mixed-tread CST tires, and a full suspension system with 2 shock absorbers in the rear. They are preload adjustable so you can fine-tune your ride depending on the terrain or the amount of cargo that you're carrying. Speaking of the cargo, the MIT 125 ADV is equipped with an under-seat cargo area that can store a full-face helmet, as well as a rear cargo mount that can hold an auxiliary cargo trunk. In terms of performance, this two-wheeler relies on a highly efficient 125cc single-cylinder engine. It produces 11.3 horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 8.8 pound-feet of torque at 6,000 RPM, while keeping the fuel economy at 94 mpg. The model's standard equipment also includes full LED lighting, a TFT information screen, dynamic turn signals, a keyless start system, a USB port for your phone, engine start and stop system, an adjustable windshield, a parking brake, and 2 color options. Finally, we'd like to mention that this year the scooter gets the new Extreme modification. Unfortunately, the ADV 125 Extreme doesn't bring a power boost, but only a series of visual tweaks and equipment updates, namely a large 7-inch anti-glare display that supports GPS navigation and CarPlay features, front and rear fenders, spoked wheels with a golden finish, a dual-wheel ABS setup, a traction control system, keyless start, and a windshield with 2 position adjustments. Sym ADXTG. For the upcoming model year, the Taiwanese Sym decided to treat performance-oriented riders with their most capable adventure scooter to date. Named the Sym ADXTG, the newcomer has all the amenities adherent to the adventure class: rugged bodywork with an attention-grabbing 2-tone paint job, off-road-ready suspension, adjustable handlebars, a small windscreen, and a robust skid plate. But it also brings an aluminum swing arm and a 399cc powertrain with dual oil pumps, a dual balance shaft design for the engine, and a specially developed clutch lubrication system. The liquid-cooled single-cylinder is reportedly good for 35 horsepower and 27 pound-feet of torque, and this power output should be properly handled by an ABS setup by Bosch and traction control system. Among all the available goodies, a full LED lighting setup, a 41mm inverted front fork, a rear 6-link shock absorber, 4-piston disc brakes, a large LCD screen, and an emergency braking alert are certainly worth mentioning. Voge SR1 ADV. Built on the base of the Voge SR1 city-oriented scooter, the SR1 ADV received a host of updates to make it dirt trail-worthy. On the outside, the model has a class-specific frame with an aggressive angular bodywork, a blacked-out windshield, and a front beak with narrow LED lights. The frontal part also houses a camera for capturing your off-road adventures. The 125cc single-cylinder engine with liquid cooling delivers 11.5 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 8.11 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 RPM, and transfers it to the rear wheel via a CTV transmission. With a ground clearance of 4.72 inches, a dry weight of 306 pounds, a robust suspension setup, disc brakes with floating calipers, ABS, and traction control, this model should be ready for moderate off-road explorations. Its suspension consists of a hydraulic telescopic fork with 121mm of travel and dual hydraulic shock absorbers with 108mm of travel in the rear. Besides the built-in camera, the scooter's tech package includes a 7-inch color LCD instrument panel, that supports turn-by-turn GPS navigation and phone connection via Bluetooth. Aveta Ranger Cub Cross. Aveta have recently announced a brand new adventure-inspired addition to their scooter lineup. The Ranger Cub Cross by Aveta gives serious Honda Hunter Cub vibes with a partially exposed tubular frame, a telescopic front fork, and a dual-shock rear suspension. Ranger Cub Cross has a seat height of 29.5 inches, 5.7 inches of ground clearance, and a 189.5-pound weight with a full 0.93-gallon fuel tank. The power comes from an air-cooled 4-stroke engine with a 113cc displacement. The engine generates 8.7 horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 6.6 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 RPM. The above-mentioned output is channeled through a manual 4-speed transmission. The scooter's standard equipment includes spoked rims with dual-purpose tires, a windshield, a handguard, front and rear LED lamps, and front disc brakes with dual calipers. Honda ADV 160. Although Honda was the first to start making adventure scooters, the brand seems to be taking too long in preparing the improvements for this class of two-wheeler, thus giving competitors more time to catch up. The company's most recent version of the Honda ADV 160 uses a 157cc single-cylinder 4-stroke engine with liquid cooling. The motor generates 15.8 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and channels the output through an automatic V-matic belt drive transmission to produce a top speed of 73 miles per hour. With a fully fueled-up 2.1-gallon tank, the scooter tips the scales at 294 pounds and features such off-road adaptations: a 31mm Showa suspension fork, rear Showa twin shocks offering 4 inches of travel, front disc brakes with ABS, a windscreen with 2-position adjustments, and a spacious underseat compartment with 27 liters of volume for your gear. Would you like us to cover more scooter-related topics? Maybe there's an automotive topic that you'd like us to cover in our future videos. Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts and requests in the comments below. Have a good one, and may the torque be with you.